Look at that knee and look at that there.
Put the knee down then.
No, I'm comfy, but it looks massive.
Hello and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books, or should I say, a cruise tube video.
Ooh.
Do you think cruise tube exists?
Probably.
Maybe we'll start it. Welcome to another video from me, Lauren, and this is my husband, David.
Filthy glasses.
I'm not going to speak over David today. Somebody put a comment saying I never let David speak. So this video, well, I can't promise that. I speak over a lot of people, don't I?
Yeah, of course you do.
Not in a rude way, just in a, I think what I've got to say
like you sound their own voice.
Much more important than what anyone else has got to say. That's not true. Welcome to a video from me and David. We've put up 2 videos of our cruise, haven't we, David?
Exactly.
We cruised Norway for our honeymoon, and the 2 vlogs of that are down below if you would like to go and check them out. But there were so many questions, and we thought maybe as first-time cruisers it would be helpful, because we definitely would have found this helpful. We watched a lot of cruise vlogs and stuff before we went away, to answer some of your questions about cruising, if you may have some. Guys, you did have some, and I've collated them all and put them on a piece of paper.
Yeah, bloody loads.
Now, I've put them into... David's not allowed to look at them because otherwise he gets very much immersed and you won't see him, he'll just be doing this. I've put them into sections. So the first one is sort of like general overview. Then we've got more about the ship. Then we've got about the people on the ship. Then we've got stuff to do on the ship. Then we've got the stops. Then we've got food. Then we've got seasickness. So many people ask questions about seasickness.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, that was...
Then we've got stuff about Norway, and then 2 sort of like wrap-up questions. So here we go.
Strap in.
Do I want to write all of the questions down below and answer them? I mean, that would be helpful, wouldn't it?
You could just put them in the comments of all the questions that were asked.
Yeah, but then there won't be timestamps or anything of what time. I anticipate I'm putting them up. This is me holding myself accountable by saying this now, by putting all the
video
questions.
will be up in a month.
That's not true. You can do it. No. Okay, so let's go. Let's launch straight in with questions about the cruise. Who did you book with, David?
P&O Cruise.
So we didn't book this cruise. This was a gift from my parents for our wedding.
In-laws.
David's mother and father-in-law, and they booked it through P&O. They have cruised with P&O. Well, my mum's cruised with them twice. My dad's cruised with them once. My mum did it over the phone, I believe. You can do it very much online. Believe me, we've been looking. But she booked it over the phone, and we sailed aboard the Aurora, which is the smallest ship in the fleet.
I mean, we say small, it's like
1,800
guests 800 work staff
crew. It's the smallest of the fleet, and yeah, it was lovely. Was this your first cruise?
Yes, not our last.
It wasn't my first cruise. I'd been on a cruise with a friend many years ago, literally I think about 15-20 years ago, but that was a fly cruise.
BD.
So we flew to, before I even met you, David, we flew to Palma and then got on the cruise from them and then flew back. I can't even remember the ship it was on or anything like that at all. So I don't know any of that, but this was David's first cruise.
Keep looking at questions.
What is included in the price of the cruise? Foods, drinks, excursions, etc. Would you like to take this one, David?
No, you can take it.
Okay. So in the price of the cruise, you get included, it's all inclusive. So you get food, so your meals, afternoon, dinner, late night snacks.
Late night snacks, very important.
Teas and coffees, water.
Juices.
And breakfast, juices, but not at dinner.
Oh, is it not?
No.
Oh, okay.
There's no juices at dinner.
Oh, okay.
And none of the excursions are included, but a use of a lot of the facilities on board, well, the majority of the facilities on board are included. Your swimming pools, your gym, your courts to do like tennis and stuff like that.
Shuffleboard, cinema.
Shuffleboard, the cinema, all the shows.
Yeah, all the shows.
All of the entertainment.
Yeah.
I say all of the entertainment, there's sort of like things that you can pay to take part in, for example, like bingo. Yeah, and stuff like that. True. But all of the shows and all of like the musical entertainment and the dance lessons. We didn't do any art classes, so I can't tell you if they're free or not.
No.
I wouldn't have thought so because they involve.
But when you look at the magazine which tells you everything, in little brackets at the end it says like a small price, like
So
would have
some
to be
things
paid.
will have a small price and paid. Did you start your cruise in the UK?
We did, and we finished it in the UK as well.
We set sail from
Southampton.
Where did you stop? Did the ship stop somewhere every day?
No, it didn't stop somewhere every day. It was a 12-nighter cruise, and we stopped in 6 places.
Should we list them together?
Okay.
Skolden, Malloy, Lofoten, Trondheim, Andalsnes, Haugesund.
Well done. Well remembered it.
So yeah, we didn't stop somewhere every day, but we stopped at 6 stops. It was a 12-night cruise, and we did 6 stops.
Yeah.
Which we don't know if that's usual or not, but that was enough for us. It was enough.
Yeah, I kind of got the vibe it would be day at sea, port, but it wasn't. Like we had 3 port days in a row.
We had 2 sea days, so we set sail from Southampton, then we had 2 days at sea, then we went to Skolden, then the next day we went to Malloy, then we had a day at sea, Lofoten, then we had a day at sea, Trondheim,
then we had the 3 days, didn't we?
Trondheim and Dalsnes, Haugesund, then a day at sea, then home.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was quite top loaded with days at sea.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
But it meant you got a good feel for the ship.
Yeah, it was good.
Cruises are expensive, but all the planning and sorting out has been done for you. Is it worth the cost? Now, as I said, we didn't pay for this.
No.
But it was about, we had a balcony cabin, which is, it didn't have the deluxe balcony or a suite, so there were sort of 2 tiers above us.
Yeah.
But as it was our honeymoon, we said to my parents, oh, we'd like a balcony, and we were prepared to top it up, weren't we, if they didn't want to, but they kindly did. From what I understand, the cruise itself cost £3,600. Okay. That's for 2 of us on a 12-night holiday with all your entertainment included, all your food included, travel in between the stops. Like this person has said, all the planning and sorting's been done for you.
Yeah.
It's not something we would be able to afford to do every year at that price, and we've already been considering options going forward of doing it and not doing a balcony cabin, so we can be able to do it. But I do think it's worth the money.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely worth the money. And we haven't got any other cruises to judge by, but because it was the fjords, that's why we wanted the balcony.
Yes, that's true. That's
for the views, and that was worth it. I feel like if that's the only other balcony holiday we do in our lives, it would have been worth it for that.
Because you get to see, you can wake up in the morning and see the fjords and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you were just doing sort of like a sea cruise or like different ports, like I don't even think you would need the balcony, or maybe not even a window. We are considering that as an option as well.
Yeah.
The last question in this sort of section is, do you know of any cruise lines that offer base rates on single occupancy?
Now
I know that they definitely do.
Yeah, on P&O Cruise they do.
They even offer balcony cabins for single occupancy. We didn't look into that, but I know that P&O definitely do, and I don't know any other cruise lines that do that because we haven't sailed on any other cruise lines. But we met someone who was in a single cabin by himself, and he was having a lovely time.
Yep, he loved it.
Next section is more about the ship. Now, as I said, we were on the Aurora, which is the smallest ship in the fleet. She's been in...
She?
Everyone refers to her as she. She's been on the seas since 2000, so she's getting a little bit old now. She's 23 years old. We went to a talk with the captain, and the captain told us that she's probably got about 5 to 7 years left. And once she's gone, normally they get bought out by other cruise companies. I think the last few have been bought out by Chinese cruise companies. They won't be making any more ships of her size. I think when they're making bespoke ships, these big sort of all singing, all dancing 5,000 mega ships are much more value for money for themselves. And we actually noticed when we were looking at the prices of holidays, they're much cheaper for actual people to go on as well. So yeah, we looked at going aboard. We just liked how small it was. So yeah. But the question's about the ship. Can you tell us more about the Crow's Nest?
Crow's Nest is delightful.
Your favourite place?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Well, it was definitely your favourite place, wasn't it? So you tell them about the Crow's Nest.
Okay, so the Crow's Nest is a bar in the... Well, I say a bar. It's like it's a bar. It's a bar at the top level, deck 13 of the ship, and it has panoramic views of where you're going with these massive windows all the way around, and lots of little seats by those windows, and then
like
upper
seating.
tables and things like that, so you can sit and watch like the cruise as it happens. Now, there is table service in there, so waiters are coming over to you and asking you if you want drinks. Drinks weren't included in our package. You can buy drinks packages. We didn't do that.
The whole, it's all table service, isn't it?
There is table service
the whole
there,
ship is table service.
Yeah, but what I was going to say is that you can go and sit in there and not order anything. We've done that plenty of times.
Yeah, we took our own like, cups of teas up, didn't we?
Taken my own cups of tea from my bedroom, or from the buffet.
Yeah.
And gone and sat in there and read. David's done his Sudoku. We played cards. It's very quiet in there, which is very nice. And actually, when we've been sat in there, a few people, if people have been talking, other people have gone over and said, "Oh, do you mind keeping it down, please?" Because it is a quiet place. However, in the early evening and into the evening, they have jazz musicians come along. And I struggle to read when there's like other stuff going on, but I can read when there's sort of like instrumental music with no lyrics playing. But it was just so relaxed in there, so lovely.
Yeah, it is nice. Just
by it was the library, and I kept nipping in there to see what books there were and stuff like that. But yeah, that was definitely my favourite place to spend in the ship, and I just always felt so relaxed and comfortable there. Yeah. But we've been in there some evenings where it's been a bit more like rowdy, chatty.
Yeah,
we've had people
chatty.
come and sit with us and chat with us and stuff like that. So yeah, Crow's Nest is definitely my favourite place on the ship. Did you notice if it was good for children?
Well, this is an adult-only ship.
So within P&O, there's 2 adult-only ships. One is the Aurora and the other is the Arcadia. All the rest have children's facilities on, but this ship that we went on had no children's facilities. Yeah, so we wouldn't know if it was safe for children. And then the next question was, is the cruise child friendly and safe for children? We wouldn't know. No,
but I'm sure all the cruises are child friendly.
Yeah.
I've watched vlogs of ones with kids on.
Kids on, yeah.
And they all look like they're very well catered for. But go and have a look for yourself.
Go and have a look for yourself. Were you able to do laundry aboard the ship, David?
We certainly was. And the use of it is absolutely free, as well as the ironing boards that are in there.
You have to provide your own tablets to wash with. And my sister had given us some travel wash. We couldn't find any on board that you could buy. So bear that in mind if you're going to take some washing tablets or something with you. But we couldn't find any to board. There was 3 laundries set over 3 different levels. There was one on level 11, one on level 9. Weirdly, David and I were on level 12, but David went down to level 9 every time he wanted. And there was one on level 6. And yeah, they're free to use. We used them halfway through the cruise. The cruise was 12 nights long and I only owned 10 pairs of knickers, so I needed to wash them halfway through anyway. But we did 2 loads of washing, a darks and a lights, and then put them all in the tumble dryer together. Tumble dryer again, free to use. There was a bit of a wait. What we did is we went down, no, there wasn't a bit of a wait, so we went down before breakfast, put all the washing into the 2 washing machines, went to breakfast, came back from breakfast, and then by that point there was a wait for the tumble dryers. So I had to wait around for about 20 minutes while David went to choir. Then I put it into the tumble dryer, got it out afterwards. We don't have a tumble dryer at home, so it was mind-blowing to us,
wasn't it? A right old treat.
That you could go and do that. There was also ironing boards. David, you went down there 2 or 3 times to do your ironing?
Yeah, never had to wait for an ironing board. There was always empty, or like, I think there was about 3 or 4 ironing boards in there. Turn the little dial on, away you go. They have little bots of water to fill it up if it runs out.
Cute.
Easy.
Very, very warm in there.
Very warm, very warm. So in the winter, it's probably lovely to sit in there for a little while.
Very, very warm in there. Was the pool good? David was the user of the pool. How was the pool facility?
I enjoyed the pool. They're not that heated.
There's 3 pools.
Yeah. One at the back, one in the middle, one at the front. The one in the middle. The one at the front. No, we was at the front. Yeah, the one at the back didn't go in the one at the back. The one in the front is undercover. I went in there once on my own in the morning. I'd done a couple of early morning swims, but the one at the back is outside. Yeah, it's not very big. You counted. It took me 7 lengths. Not lengths. It took me 7 swooshes, and I'm quite a slow swimmer. But I mean, people were in there doing lengths and stuff. It was just nice to get in there and have a dip, especially on the warmer days.
It was never super busy in there. And there was some warm days when we were there as well, but it was never super busy.
So it's quite nice. It's a bit like going to the sea. Once you get your shoulders in, have a little, once you get your body adjusted to the temperature, it's lovely. The hot tubs.
I was going to say the hot tubs. I went in one and it was so cold I ended up getting out of the pool because it froze me, but I don't know if it was just that one that I went in. Actually, I've got to say a few of them were out of use. I would say one at each pool was out of use. on when we went.
Yeah, but the one at the back of the ship, our friend told us that was a warm one.
Oh, okay.
That was the warmest hot tub.
The warmest one. Was it suitable for old people or people with mobility issues or walking difficulties? Now, we are answering this as people who don't have mobility issues or walking difficulties, but I must say the ship to me seemed very, very accessible.
Absolutely.
So there's like lifts every third of the way down of the ship, which are constantly in use.
Yeah.
Every single place you could get to, there was a lift to get into the swimming pool as well, if you need help getting into the swimming pool.
Yeah.
There was lots and lots of like places where they would put aside seats, so, like for example in the theatre there was like spaces saved for people who were in wheelchairs or have mobility issues, and their carers, so, and somebody with them who potentially didn't have mobility issues. But yeah, I would say it was very, very suited. We didn't see one person fall over the whole time.
No.
And we said we couldn't believe that, because I thought, well, first of all, I fall over all the time, so I thought we'd see that. But yeah, and everything, like going out onto the deck is all very accessible. Yeah. Yeah, I would say, speaking as somebody who doesn't have those needs, it seemed to me like it was. Would you agree?
Definitely, yeah. Cruises, cruises are insanely popular for the older folk, so you know they are well sorted out.
So the first part of this question was: is it suitable for old people?
Yeah.
David and I were bringing down the average age of that ship, but there was, I would say, there was about not including the crew, so the guests aboard.
There's a question about age later, so I think you should save all of this.
Oh, is there? Right, okay.
Yeah,
we'll save that. We'll save that.
Hush for now.
More on that later. Is it peaceful? I found it very peaceful.
Oh man, so peaceful.
I found it very, very peaceful. It was peaceful to sit in our balcony, on our balcony. It was peaceful to sit in the crow's nest. It was peaceful to sit by the pool. Yeah. Didn't feel like they had like sail away parties and they play a bit of music and stuff like that, but I found it very, very peaceful. The walks around the deck were very peaceful. Yeah, I found it very, very, and Norway itself was very peaceful. Something about sort of like sailing into fjords, I think, makes people a bit like
awe-inspiring.
Awed, yeah. How many places on the ship were trainers not allowed? I'm seeing lots about dress codes. So there was, we were told trainers weren't allowed of an evening. Yeah. David wore trainers to dinner every single night.
Every night, even
on the formal nights. And I wore trainers one formal night as well. When I had that big cloud dress on, I had trainers on that day. Yeah. And neither of us got told off. Now I think it's sort of, I've been sat in the crow's nest where from 6 o'clock there is a dress code and you're not allowed to wear shorts. And people were going around saying, just to let you know, from 6 o'clock there's a dress code, you can't wear shorts. So I have seen that. I don't know if you weren't allowed to wear shorts during the, I think you're not allowed to wear shorts to dinner. No. I think you'd be fine. Yeah. I don't think there's like, we never had any problems. Like I said, David wore trainers every single night, including the black tie nights. Yeah. With a suit, but yeah.
I don't own a pair of shoes.
And the dress code with the black tie, if you don't want to get dressed up as black tie, that's fine. Just
you don't have
go
to.
There's only a few bars where you can't, like where they're saying, oh, it's black tie tonight. So we enjoyed the dressing up.
Yeah, we saw people walking around there who hadn't dressed up.
Oh, the next question is, do you have to get dressed up to go to the formal night? No, you don't have to. We did. We very much enjoyed that. We enjoyed getting dressed up for dinner every night, actually.
If you can, you should, because it's definitely worth it, and it's nice.
It's very nice, but you don't have to. No. And like on one of the formal nights, I remember we went to the Horizon restaurant, which is the buffet restaurant at the top of the ship, on the same level that we were, and nobody in there was really dressed up for black tie, were they? No. So people just got in there. How was the gym on board? We had a little tour of the gym when we first got there. When we were having a little look around the ship, somebody said, oh, do you want us to show you around? It looked very well equipped. Neither of us are gym goers, so we didn't go, but we knew people on board that did go. It always seemed to be quite full. I wouldn't be able to say whether or not it was busy or not, but I always saw people, like whenever we were sat by the pool, I could see people through the windows running on the treadmills and stuff.
And that's included as well.
That's included too. The classes, some of the classes are, there was a fit steps one that was, but there was like a meditation one which was a little bit extra. Yeah. Cool, so that's the questions about the actual ship. Then we've got questions about the people on the ship. So as David said, was there a good age range on the ship? Would love to go but don't want to feel out of place. I'm 30. Were you the youngest people there? We weren't the youngest people there, but we were definitely in the I would say 90% of the cruise was over
60.
I would say over like 65, 70.
Yeah.
Like it was older people.
Yeah.
And then there was David and I, and then a few couples of around our age. Yeah. And then the other people that were sort of younger were people with their parents.
Yeah, with their parents.
Who were maybe in their like 20s. So
Yeah.
we sat with a mother and daughter on the first night. There was she was in her early 20s,
Yeah.
she with her mum. And then we got chatting to another young lad who was on holiday with his mum, dad and brother, and they were in they were in their 20s.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I must say, we didn't feel left out or anything. I didn't feel out of place. It didn't feel like that at all. But yeah, this particular ship that we were on, I think, is very popular with the older people. We got chatting to a few people who said that the bigger ships, Iona, that's the name of the bigger ship, Arvia's the new one, Britannia, they've got much more of a, what was it described? Party atmosphere. And David and I were like, oh God, no. We don't want a party atmosphere. So I think there are cruises for younger people, but yeah, we were amongst the youngest people aboard, but it wasn't a problem at all.
No.
Did people talk to you all the time?
Yes. All the time.
People did talk to you all the time. I don't know if that was
sometimes a bit too much.
I don't know if it was because we were younger, people were keen to chat with us. I didn't find it too much, and I'm quite unsociable. So I'm quite unsociable, but it wasn't ever like, I never felt like saying piss off. Like, it was only like if you might get and also at dinner, that's another question a bit later on, like at dinner you can choose to sit with people or not sit with people, and we did both. And then the people you've sat with at dinner you'll sometimes bump into on the ship. I imagine it probably doesn't happen as much on the bigger ships.
No.
And then you might get chatting. So like we sat with Paul one night, and then you got playing bowls with him another time.
Bowls with him.
So like, and you do get to sort of meet people that you see more often around the ship and then chat with them that way. But like I said, like one evening when we were in the crow's nest, someone came over and said, oh, can we take these 2 seats? And we got chatting with them for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, it is a chatty place to be.
Yeah.
But you don't have to involve yourself in that. You
No.
could just, like, you could quite easily say no, or you don't have to sit and talk to people. Like, it doesn't, it's not like that. But
no,
yeah,
not.
And for me as somebody who's a sort of like introvert, I was quite happy with the level of chatting to people that was going on.
Very much so.
Have you kept in touch with any of the friends you made on the cruise?
No.
I'm Facebook friends with somebody.
Are you?
Yeah, me and Kira are Facebook friends.
Oh, okay, cool.
So yeah, I've made Facebook friends. Oh, and we started following a few people from the crew, the entertainment crew. We follow them and they follow us. David was mad about the entertainment crew.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is about what is there to do on the ship. First question, what is there to do on the ship?
My God, there's cinema, there's shows, there's dancing, there's choir, there's bingo, there's the gym, there's the swimming.
The casino.
There's the casino, there's...
Tennis courts.
Oh my God, there's tennis courts, there's
Golf.
shuffleboard, there's quoits, there's golf
Archery.
nets, there's cricket. Oh my God.
Talks.
Oh yeah, there's talks. Like all the music you can listen to, like all you can eat all
Art
the
gallery.
time. Oh, there's an art gallery, yeah.
Eating all the time.
Yeah, there's lawn bowls, there's card games.
Oh yeah, the room we went to,
like,
bridge club.
There's bridge club. There was another like card game, but I can't remember the name.
A library. And I would say, aside from bingo and maybe the art classes, we didn't go to the art classes, we can't be sure.
Yeah.
None of them cost anything extra.
No, nothing.
I don't know if
apart from
did.
I think bingo, where you have to buy your tickets.
You have to buy your tickets, but...
And there's you don't have to buy the dabber, but because it's fun to buy the dabber. But there we go. So much to do.
Those are the things that you can do on the ship.
Yeah, and I probably missed out on some.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to ballroom dance?
Oh Christ, did we?
We were so bad. Considering we've had like one-on-one lessons. What I will say, so that everything on board is in a 45-minute slot, which we loved.
Yeah.
Because if you're not enjoying something, which very rarely happened, it's over in 45 minutes. And everything is so prompt. It starts on the dot and it finishes on the dot.
Yeah.
And we loved that, didn't we? We're people who are early to everything and we love things being prompt, so like we loved it.
Literally everything. I would be watching it on my phone, wouldn't start at 7:29, wouldn't start at 7:31. It would start at 7:30 every single time. Like, it was brilliant.
When we went along to the ballroom dancing, we went to an afternoon session and the people who were there had been to the morning session. Now, it was the same steps as they'd done in the morning, but the people we were there with had done it already. What I will also say is in 45 minutes, when you've literally got 45 minutes to teach, like, how many couples were there?
12 couples, maybe? No, about 10.
Yeah. 8, I would say. Well, however, 8 to 12 couples, basic tango steps. And if someone's not getting it, they can't focus on you because they've got 9 other couples who are getting it, and David and I were not getting it. We were having a terrible time.
Having a shit show.
But we bounced back quite quickly, because I could feel myself on the edge of being annoyed because I was really not getting it.
Yeah,
it is disappointing, because ballroom dancing and dancing in general is always something I thought I would be really good at. So when it works out that I'm not good at something, I get disappointed.
Yeah.
But we were terrible.
It was bad. Like, honestly, guys, I was supposed to do a charity dancing thing at work later on in the year, but I don't think I'm going to do it now because I didn't realise I was that shit. Honestly,
we were so bad. We were grabbing hold of each other. It was. Tell them about when we were
grabbing hold like Rose and Jack did on the Titanic.
We were absolutely grabbing hold of each other, and then we were around a circular.
So my favourite bit. So I don't think we've got anything circular here. So basically, imagine a circle. And so when we started the dancing, we was all kind of like, we were all like evenly apart. And then we was told to dance. And then by the end of it, that circle, because the circle was the stage, we was on one half of the circle. And then the other couples were all like squidged together on the other half.
Because we were taking massive steps. We were just catching everyone up. We were bumping into
starting
people.
Again.
Oh, it was shocking.
Yeah, I think we had about 10, 15 minutes left, and we just went, we'll just sit down and watch.
It was so bad. We did enjoy watching though.
Yeah.
We went and watched people do it later on, but yeah.
Yeah, and we had a nice little running joke that every time the dancers...
Yeah, they would be frightened that they thought we were coming to their class again. But I would say, like, you could still go as a beginner and having not known any steps. Like, David and I were just particularly shit. And both of us... Also, neither of us was good, so neither of the other one could be like, right, what we're supposed to be doing is here, because both of us were terrible.
Yeah, but it might have been different had we gone to the morning session.
Who knows? So we'll never know, because I probably won't go back. I'd like to try line dancing though.
Yeah.
Right, if you weren't a reader, would you have been bored on sea days? My husband's not really a reader. Let me find out if he was bored on sea days. Were you bored on sea days?
Never.
No.
Always so much to do.
There's always so much to do. Yeah. The next question is also about the activities. It says,
Can I suggest Sudoku?
Oh yeah, David loved a Sudoku. If someone isn't interested in the activities during sea days, would these days be too boring? Not with the fjords, because I think there's a lot to look at.
Yeah.
I didn't mention that there's TV in your room as well.
Oh yeah.
So you could just stay in your room and watch TV if you didn't want to go out.
Because you can get room service.
You can get room service, and there's lots and lots of TV channels. They have films showing all day.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think to say if you're not interested in the activities, there's enough activities that you will find something there that you are interested in.
Yeah.
So, we packed our sea days full of stuff.
Yeah.
But I would have just as happy been sat up in the crow's nest, going for lunch and doing those sort of things. But we really packed our sea days full of stuff. But there's such a broad... we mentioned all those things earlier. Like, if you're not a reader, you might want to go and watch film at the cinema. If you're not into sports, you might want to go and do an art class.
Yeah.
But if you are, like, you might want to just walk around the deck. There's a promenade deck, which is deck 7. You could just walk around that. You could do that for ages. Like,
but I would suggest maybe try something that you haven't done before, because again, as Lauren said, it's 45 minutes. If you don't like
There's absolutely no pressure to come back to those things either. We went to 2 bridge classes and then didn't go to any more. We went to the choir. We loved the choir. There really is something for everyone.
Like, even if you're, I don't know if we've got anything mentioned on it, but even if you're a solo traveller, they have solo group meetups, which is really cool. So they have like solo meetups, so that if you want to all solo travellers
quizzes
can
as
go
well.
there. Oh my god, so many quizzes.
We did do that, karaoke.
Mm.
And the last question about stuff to do on board: is there enough to do on board that doesn't cost a small fortune? As I've said, almost everything that we've mentioned, apart from things like bingo, the casino, everything is everything is included in the cost, so you don't have to pay bolt-ons. Again, this is everything that we're talking about for P&O. I don't know what it's like for other things. Right, the next bit is about the stops, about the shore days. Do you feel it was possible to see enough of each place you stopped? Yeah. Yes. What we wanted to do.
I would say so, yeah.
We were quite happy to have we did a little sort of like walk around the town, do a little bit of touristy shopping, go and have a look at some nice viewpoints, maybe go and get a coffee and a cake or a bit of lunch, and that was what we wanted to do. So for us, we definitely had enough time to do those things. Yeah. And we made them. We didn't rush off in the morning or anything like that, did we? The only day we went off really early was that day we had the excursion. Yeah. But I feel like there was enough time for us to do our bit. Yeah, definitely. We went into it very chill. We were just like, right, we'll just walk off. We'll let all the people who want desperate to get off go, and we'll just see what happens. We'll do a bit of exploring. Yeah. Yeah. Did you feel like you had enough time at each of the stops?
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, I would have say.
David was so worried the boat was going to go without him that I said to David, "Oh, the boat leaves at 5:30 today. What time do you want to be back at the port?" And he said, "No later than 3." I was like, "It's not going to take us 2.5 hours to get on the ship."
Yeah, there was.
I will say I thought we did have enough time at all of the stops. The only thing I would say is that we stopped at a place called Trondheim, which was an amazing city, but we had been scheduled there on a Sunday, and there was restaurants and stuff open, but none of the shops open, and the shopping looked amazing. So I was a bit disappointed at that. I mean, that's just the way it fell, so we couldn't do much more about that.
But we still had a great day there. We managed to do a couple of things.
One of the cruises we're looking at do like overnight stops. So like one of the cruises is doing like an overnight in Reykjavik, so you could go out for dinner in Reykjavik or maybe do something in the evening and things like that. So, but I felt like we did have enough time in the stops. Explore on your own or expensive excursions. We've done both. What do you prefer?
See, because we've only done one excursion, it's hard to, but at the minute I would definitely say explore on your own.
I also enjoyed Explore on Your Own. The excursions are expensive, particularly the cruise we went on, because we've been watching vlogs about other people who are doing cruises in the Med and places like that, and the excursions aren't as expensive, but life itself is expensive in Norway. So we went on an excursion while we were in Lofoten, which took us on a 63-kilometre journey on the coach.
Oh yeah, it was an all-day job.
Yeah. And out for lunch, and that was £134 each, which is a lot. And between us, like, I mean, 268 quid, like we could go on a small break for that. But it was a lovely day, and we got to see places. And actually, we picked the right day because apparently the port of Leknes in Lofoten, where we went, was rubbish.
Yes.
So we picked the right day to do that. We didn't know that, but we just went there. But some of the bonuses I will say about the excursions. Number one bonus, which would really make David feel better, is that if you're on a P&O excursion, the boat is not leaving without you. The boat will not that there's loads of things holding you up getting to the port, but I know that is a worry for some people, but the boat will not leave without you if you are on a P&O excursion. So that's something like you can relax, can't you? The other thing is that if there's something very popular in that area, so for example, there was a scenic railway, wasn't there? You're best to do it through the excursions, because if you think, oh, I'll try and see if I can get on my own, you never will. So that's the sort of thing that I think it's very good. Also, we enjoyed the one that we went on because you got to have, it was a lunch was included. I think that might have driven the price up a bit, but it meant we got to eat somewhere where ordinarily I don't think, like, it wasn't like boaty touristy, because it was a 63-kilometre drive. And also I think you learn a lot. Like our tour guide was amazing, and he was like, as we were driving to these places, he was telling us all about everything, and like I learned so much on that tour. So those are the things. However, there are things I do enjoy the days where we just literally plop off the ship and go and have a little walk around and do a few bits.
Also fun.
And places like the first stop we went to, Skålden, we hadn't booked anything. I didn't actually know that we were getting off at Skålden. I thought it was a cruise by. And there was a lot of people who'd been booked on to do a rib tour, which is on like one of those, what are those boats called? They're called ribs. I don't know what that stands for. But
like a speedboat.
Like a speedboat. People are paid to do that, and paid quite handsomely to do that. And then when we got off the ship, it was like, oh, you can do that for a third of the price. And I think I would do things like that in future, but you just don't know, because
exactly, I think if you're going to somewhere where you're, if they offer the excursion, you're like, I really want to do it, I would say do it. Don't take the risk. Like, no, you know.
But I think going forward on a cruise, I would probably do one. So we were booked on for 2 excursions, but then the route got changed. So we were on a troll tour in Alisund, and we didn't end up going to Alisund. So, but we didn't rebook anything. And I think in future I would only do 1 excursion.
Yeah, I would like to do one of them rip tours. And yeah, maybe, because I think when we was looking into it, we were adamant that we wanted to do a whole day.
We wanted something that included lunch.
But now I wouldn't I would, which as Lauren said, drove up the price. But now I'd be more keen on maybe do something that's a bit cheaper. And I think as well, and it's only a few hours long.
The thing I was worried about is that I didn't have faith in us that we would go and find somewhere and have lunch and stuff like that. And I would definitely do that if I were in Norway again. I'd go and find somewhere of my own to have lunch and stuff like
definitely,
that. So, but yeah, I don't regret doing the excursion, and I think there's positives of both, but I think I probably enjoyed the exploring by myself.
There's times to do excursions and there's time to explore yourself.
Right, Food.
Food
On board.
food.
Is there Norwegian food available on the ship? There was one Norwegian night that happened in the buffet restaurant. It was meatballs. You had the meatballs. I don't think there was anything vegetarian, so I don't think I joined in. But no, the answer, I mean, I guess it's hard to tailor these things, but there was no Norwegian food available on board, basically.
I wonder if they think if it's for everywhere you go on a cruise, it's like, we're not gonna make you Norwegian food because you're going to Norway.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't. No one's having dinner in Norway, are they? Because we're gone by 5 o'clock.
No, that's also very true. Yeah.
So I do think maybe that is something I would have maybe looked at and thought, oh yeah, we'll have a Norwegian night in the restaurant or something like that. But yeah, there was little to no Norwegian food. Is it easy to get a table for 2 at dinner? Tell them about our lovely routine, David.
So, depends on what time you go, but our routine, every time we went down there, did we ever walk in straight away?
No, lunchtime,
so.
Lunchtime table for 2, absolutely fine, no worries.
Yeah.
Breakfast, table for 2, there's a wait. This is in the restaurant, in the buffet restaurant, you can go and do whatever you want, but in the actual sit-down restaurant, so evening, always a wait.
Yep, exactly. So we go in, we go up to the desk, table for 2, please. And
cabin L129.
Cabin
Say,
L129.
oh, Lauren and David. We'd say, yes, that's us.
Evening. And then they'll say, well, give me a buzzer. They'll say, could be between half an hour, 45 minutes, 45 minutes to an hour. Brilliant. Cheers, mate. Thank you. The first time we'd done it, we just waited around in that reception area like a couple of mugs. But now, then we found out that your buzzer works
in the bars.
In all the bars at the ship. So we went up to Anderson's, which is a very nice, very quiet, posh little cocktail bar. We go up there, have a non-alcoholic cocktail of the day. Couple of games of shithead, and then
literally by the time the second game of shithead was winding up, our buzzer would be going off, and then we'd go down and get our table. So we established that sort of halfway through, didn't we?
Yeah.
But once we'd established that was one of my favourite things about the holiday, like going out for dinner.
I loved our little routine. It was brilliant.
Yeah, I loved it. So yes, there is a wait, but if you're prepared to sort of like go, because some people do literally sit outside the restaurant, and I'm like, why would you do that for 45 minutes? Like if you're happy to go to a bar or something like that,
you can go grab a coffee.
You can even probably go back to your cabin.
Probably go look in the shops.
Yeah,
there's stuff you can do.
There's stuff you can do.
Just go and have a walk around.
Do you have to sit with the same people every night? So as I said, we sometimes sat on our own for tables for 2. With our freedom dining, which was something we were allocated, we didn't opt for that, but it's definitely something I would opt for in the future.
Yes, yeah, we would.
You go out for dinner. They say, "Are you happy? Do you want to sit with other people? Are you happy to sit with other people? Do you want to sit on your own?" And we did both. Like I said, we sat with other people. The first night we sat with other people, and they took us along, and you can sit and chat with people. But it's not the same people every night. It's just literally who you're turning up with, and then they've got a table of 8 of you, and you all go and sit down. Yeah. However, if you're on the other dining plan, which I don't know much about because we weren't on, all I know is that there was 2 sit-ins. So there's a sitting at 6:30 and there's a sitting at 8:30, and you do sit with the same table of people for the whole time you're on the cruise. So, and obviously if you ain't getting on with those people on that table, then that's a bit shitty, and that's one of the reasons I would not do it. And also I feel like 6:30 or 8:30, 6:30 is a little bit too early for us, and 8:30 is chipping into your evening time when you could be watching shows and stuff. Quite often there was 2 things we wanted to do of an evening. There was a show and then a musical act, and if you were going for the 8:30 dinner, you probably wouldn't be able to get in for both of those shows. Yeah, you probably have to sacrifice one or go earlier. It just seemed a bit... the freedom dining worked very well for us, and it's definitely something I would do. However, we did meet people on the ship who didn't want to have to wait to get their dinner, and they were happy to eat at 6:30 every night, or happy to eat at 8:30 every night. But I wouldn't like that. One more thing about so when you're on a table of, so it's a table of 6s, isn't it? It was 8. It was 8. If you're the first 2 people on there and you're waiting around, you won't order your food until that table is full. They fill the table up, but it's not. You're not waiting around. No, they're normally like you sit down. They give you the menus, and then within 5 minutes they filled the table up. And as people are arriving, you're like. So just in case you go in there, you're ready to order. You've got to wait for that table to be filled, my friends. I must say, one day at lunchtime as well. This isn't related, but the waiting staff, all of the staff were amazing, but the waiting staff in particular were amazing. They were. One day we had literally about 20 minutes, didn't we, before we had to get back for choir. Yeah. And we said to the chap on the desk, I was like, we don't mind who we sit with or what we do, but it needs to be fast because we've got our choir show. And he was like, yeah, that's fine. He got us a table of 2 instantly. We knew what we were having because we looked at the menu. We told the chap straight away. They brought out our food straight away. It was incredible service. It was so good. Yeah, and the food was lovely as well.
I had a burger at that lunch, and it was one of the best burgers I've had. It was really nice burger. It was a lovely burger.
You just sort of like inhale it, didn't you?
Yeah, if I hadn't been doing the choir, I would have had another one.
How was it eating as a vegetarian? Dinner was great. There was always 3 vegetarian options, and one of those options was vegan. And there would be vegan desserts as well, and as I said, starters and stuff. So dinner, lots of choice, very, very easy to eat as a vegetarian. Often the pasta dish was a vegetarian or vegan option, and halfway through I sort of discovered the pasta. The pasta was amazing.
Loved it,
it was so good. So dinner, great. Lunchtime, great. Breakfast, not great. I'm aware there's not as many vegetarian and vegan options at breakfast.
Just in general, isn't it?
In the sit-down restaurant, you could get vegetarian sausages and bacon, but you couldn't get that in the buffet restaurant, and that was where we tended to go for breakfast.
Yeah, it was easier.
I still loved my breakfast. I had bircher muesli with stewed fruit every morning, and then I would normally have mushrooms. It was very mushroom-heavy breakfast.
Yeah.
Mushrooms with some sort of potato for the day, and then beans. Or if they had them, tomatoes. The other thing they did, I'm vegetarian, not vegan, so I can eat, so I do eat eggs. And they had omelettes ready made. Some days they were tomato, some days they were cheese, some days they were mushroom, some days they were ham, so I couldn't have them. So yeah, there wasn't, in terms of breakfast, there wasn't loads of choice. And I must say, like, as a vegetarian in that in the buffet restaurant, I didn't feel as well catered for as I did in the sit down.
No, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
So, but, I mean, but going to like hotels and stuff, which I do a lot, like, yeah, it's just, I think that's just the breakfast buffet life. I just don't think,
because the next question
you guys just aren't looked after very well in the breakfast world.
The next question is, how would it be for vegan diets? As I said, there's a vegan option for everything, but I don't feel like there's much choice for vegans. I think you sort of, there's always, you can always eat, but there might not be much choice for you. There was always a fresh fruit salad, which I very much enjoyed, and that's present at all meals, so you can have that in the morning and stuff. There was, in the buffet restaurant, there was a vegan and gluten-free like table, which had like vegan croissants and stuff like that. So there are things for you, but just not much choice. No. But yeah, I definitely think you could eat it. It says on the website the prices on the boats are comparable to high street for drinks. Is that true? I don't drink outside, so I don't know. How much is... Did you have a beer? Did you have...
Yeah, I think I had one beer on there, and it was a bottle of beer, and I think it was £3.
That's good, is it?
Which is probably about your average price.
David mentioned earlier, so we had the non-alcoholic cocktail of the day every day, and that was £3.50.
Yeah.
And I think that's really good, isn't it?
I think for a non-alcoholic cocktail... I'm not even sure you'd get a non-alcoholic cocktail for that in Wetherspoons or something. No, I don't think so. So like, I would have a Coke, and I think the Coke was £2, £2.50. So yeah, I think you're paying probably your average bar prices for the... They're definitely not bumped up. I remember looking at the beer prices. Oh, I had a Negroni.
Oh,
and I think that was...
£6.95, I think that was.
Yeah, I think so. £6.95, maybe £7.95.
We've been in places.
I don't think that's that bad.
Remember when we went to Korean Cowgirl and the cocktails were like 15 or 18 quid.
Yeah, exactly.
Even the non-alcoholic.
So I don't think this is. Yeah, I think it's fine. And I think a pint of beer is about £5.
You can also get drinks packages as well, which we didn't do. You can get soft drinks packages and like wine packages and stuff like that, which might mean the thing. I don't drink all that many soft drinks anyway, and you have to do it per cabin, so it wouldn't have been worth it.
No.
But I think if you like your booze, you're probably best to get a cab to get that.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, look into, as I said, like, I mean, I drink not very much, but yeah, something to look into.
Now we're entering the seasickness section. So many questions so many people had questions about seasickness. Did the sea ever get scary?
No.
I never found it scary.
No.
What I will say is that we were in a very, very calm part of, I think probably the calmest cruise ever, because we were in the fjords, so there's not much in the way of splashing and waves and stuff like that. It was very, very, very calm.
So a bit, so we can't really give a...
So the sea never felt scary for us, but we did speak to people on board who were like, yeah, it's been pretty dicey. The Bay of Biscay seems to be the place where everyone gets a bit scared. Was the weather everything you wished it to be? Yeah, it was really good weather.
Yeah, we got very, very lucky with the weather.
We got very lucky because when we were turning up at like places, they were like, "It's been snowing until you've turned up."
When we done our excursion day, the guy said that that was only like their third day of like clear blue skies for like...
No, he said it was the 1st.
Oh,
because
he
said
third.
they'd had midnight sun since the 31st of May.
No way.
And since then it had been snowstorms, and this was their first day.
Oh, I thought he said third. He said first.
There we go. Yeah, we had very good weather. Even like when it was foggy and chilly, it was fine.
Yeah.
It rained a little bit when we
had half an hour rain, all because Lauren bought a rain hood or hat.
Seasickness and movement of the ships. So David and I took some seasickness tablets when we got on the ship because we didn't know how we would feel about it. David gets a bit travel sick, don't you?
Yeah.
I never do. But we took some ginger tablets. Sea legs, I think they were called. Were they called sea legs?
And we bought one of them bands.
And we bought one of the bands. We never got the bands out, even out of the packaging. No. And we were fine. I felt a bit iffy one morning. I don't know if maybe I've just been eating so much. So I took some more of those tablets. Yeah. But I don't feel like... Yeah, I didn't feel seasick
I think the second day for me, I had a couple of hours where I was like, I'm not sure. So I took a tablet, felt fine, and I was fine ever since.
I also
never had
took,
a problem.
that was a tip from your sister, we took some ginger tea as well. So if we ever did feel, so the morning I felt a bit, but I had a couple of ginger teas, and then that was very helpful for choir as well.
That was it, yeah.
No seasickness for either of us at all. Not even a whiff of it, David.
No, I mean, you felt a little bit of motion in the ocean. But, yeah, it never bothered us, did it?
No. So these are now about Norway. Did you have any local food specialities? Oh, you had a Dr Pepper that time, didn't you?
Oh, man. Oh, I bought some gravy mix, some garlic mix, which I can't wait to use.
As I said, we went out for lunch on one of the days.
Excursions.
One of the excursions. That was a difficult vegetarian day, wasn't it?
Yes.
And if you'd have been a vegan, even more difficult. There was a lot of cured meats, there was a lot of fish. The main...
For this guy...
Yeah, David was having a lovely time. The two main meals... So it was a buffet, which was lovely. It all looked beautiful, but the two main dinners were fish pie or chicken. So I filled up on like salads and stuff. There was a lot of egg as well.
Yeah,
so
like I said,
chickpeas and things like that.
Oh man, those chickpeas were good.
That was very nice though. And very nice.
A couple of nice desserts.
Lovely bread.
They had a really nice
the desserts
fruit,
are so good.
Cheesecake type.
We had
thing.
quite a lot of these sort of like berry topped cheesecakes. We had one there, we had one in a little cafe when we were in Andalsnes and things like that, and in Malloy, yeah, we quite enjoyed a little berry topped like cheesecakey type thing.
I mean, I often went for the chocolate one, it was always delicious, that one with a little bee on it.
Yes, we also, so I had pastries there that I was very disappointed that day I didn't get to go to that.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to the bakery all the time, but we went to one bakery and it was like, so it's a bit like a cinnamon bun, like a Swedish or a Danish cinnamon bun, but it didn't seem as glazed with sugar, so that actually, I enjoy that sort of thing mine, because I'm not a massive sweet tooth, am I? No, you had, that's when David had the big chocolate cake with the bee on it. But yeah, that was really nice. So it was almost like, so it's like a cinnamon bun that I'd had before, but without the sort of like added sugar glaze, which I really liked. Anything else we had? I don't know that we did. It was mainly sweet treats.
It was mainly sweets.
The tap water. When we were in Lofoten.
The tap water was so.
When we were in Lofoten,
mad, didn't it?
Everyone was so excited about their tap water, and they were like, "You must try the tap water." And we did, and it really was delicious. It really was. Like, I don't know if it was just because we'd been being told it was very good, but like we'd been told constantly that the tap water in Norway and in particular in Lofoten is amazing. So yeah, we did that as well. You had a lot of smoked salmon, didn't you?
Oh, a lot of smoked salmon.
We saw a lot of like salmon places in the sea as we were cruising around as well. But yeah, so a few. I wish, if anything, on that first trip in Skolden, they had when we got off at that hotel, they had a local food. And I would love to do that. Yeah, that I would definitely make a priority to do, a local food thing in future.
Yeah, so that's how we definitely change that. If we was to, because we are going to go on many more cruises, that maybe we'll
make sure we
have like a
even though we did, but I would like to have like a local menu. Was English spoke widely? Yeah, absolutely. Like people speaking English to you before I'd even open my mouth, unless I'm very English looking. But like people were and their command of the English language is amazing. Yeah. We sort of would say ahoy and tack, and that was it really. Like tack is thank you, but it was. Was there any symbolism prevalent throughout Norway and fairies and trolls? I'll be honest, not as much as I thought there was going to be.
Obviously, in the touristy shops, shitloads.
You can't move for troll items, but I thought there would be a lot more of it about, and there wasn't. And I don't know if that's just because they don't sort of like hammer it home, like the sort of
No, maybe not.
bits, but yeah, it wasn't very prevalent, I didn't think.
Or maybe they do in different parts.
Yeah, I didn't
Like
feel...
maybe the one where we're supposed to have the troll tour, maybe they're a bit more
Yeah.
trolly focused. But yeah, no, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I was surprised at how little it was.
Did you get to see the Northern Lights? No, we didn't. We weren't at the right time of year to see the Northern Lights.
But we knew that anyway.
Yeah, we knew that, and also it was midnight sun, so
Yeah.
we had like 4 days of daylight, which was an incredible thing to see. But by the end, we were like, look, fuck off. I want it to be dark again.
I want to see the moon.
Yeah, so I think when people talk about like living in the northern hemisphere and it being dark for like that long and how awful it is, you and I would be we would be different, because we'd be like, I'm sick of it being so light all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, no Northern Lights. Would I be interested in going to see them? Sure, I would.
Sure,
I don't think I'd take a special trip, but if I saw them, I'd be pleased about it.
Yeah, if a cruise would happen to work in favour of it, then yeah.
Did you take Norwegian cash with you for onshore spending?
Yes,
So
we did.
We did. No one's interested in the
No,
Norwegian
it was
cash.
really difficult to
So
spend
we took
it.
Norwegian krona. My auntie had given us some for our wedding present, which was lovely. But we took it. We ended up spending it in supermarkets, because when we took it to other places, they were like, "We don't really want to take that here." Like, they just weren't that interested. The Norwegians were doing chip and pin before we had even heard of chip and pin. So they're very, very keen for you to use your card. I was using my Apple Pay, Monzo cards and things like that. So yeah, we took £50 worth of krona.
Yeah.
And we spent it in shops.
Like supermarkets.
In supermarkets.
That was the only places that really accepted cash. And even then they didn't.
What was exciting though is that the krona has got a hole in it.
Yeah,
the one krona coins have got holes
so
in.
we'll
one
go
for
one to
my
my niece.
I thought she'd be much more excited about that.
Yeah, I kept one. So
Yeah.
it was lovely.
But yeah, I wouldn't bother at all with the money.
No.
Would you like to live in Norway?
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
it was nice. Often we think that about places we go.
Trondheim, I would. If
Trondheim was
said,
such a cool city.
Somebody said, here's a video editing job.
And there was a media place there, wasn't there?
And here's a job for Lauren in a library, and here's a nice house. Would you take it? Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I would take that anywhere. If they said, here's a house. Yeah, it was lovely. There was just a really nice vibe. Everywhere is relentlessly beautiful.
And
like literally,
clean.
you're turning the corner and there's just another beautiful part of Norway. Like, and so clean. We were in every single city we went to. We didn't see any rubbish.
Over the whole thing, I reckon, counted on one hand the amount of litter we saw.
I can only remember seeing it once in Haugesund, and that was something that had fallen in the water. It was like a bit of netting or something in the water.
And I sit on one hand.
Yeah, so I don't remember. And
so clean.
Just so clean and just so, yeah, just such a nice... The person, when we were on our tour guide, he was saying like, majority of people work in tourism, the fishing industry first, sorry, then tourism. And then if you don't work in the fishing industry or you don't work in tourism, you're normally a teacher or work in a shop, because they don't really have need for like police and stuff like that. They said we've got police officers and stuff, but we don't really use them all that much, so yeah.
Yeah. Was it like like 1,000 like populated island, they got like one police officer?
Well, I think that's probably normal anyway.
Is that the norm?
Well, we live on a place where there's like 40,000 people.
How many does Dr. Wass's place look after and call the midwife? The whole of London, isn't it?
Yeah, when you're looking after.
Yeah. About 7 million?
Yeah. So yeah, the answer of that is we would definitely move to
in
Norway.
a heartbeat.
Right, so the last two questions that sort of like sum up everything were, do you think cruises are suitable for all ages? Can't speak on behalf of children, but
no.
I would say so.
Yeah, I don't think it's more about age. I think it's more about your attitude, personally. Because, you know, I was talking to people about who aren't sure about cruises because they're like, oh, I don't know if I feel a bit claustrophobic. We didn't feel claustrophobic,
no,
but I mean, that's not saying that you can't. So, yeah, I don't think age is the issue here. I just think it's what you feel about going on a cruise ship.
But yes.
Yeah, all ages.
And the last question is, what's something you wish you'd been told before you went?
Mine is, you don't have to do everything in the first 2 days because you're on there for a long time.
Yeah.
There's lots to do. You don't have to cram it all in because we did.
We did cram it all in, didn't we? That first sea day, we were exhausted.
Yeah.
Mine would probably be something I knew before I went.
And I wish we knew.
Oh, I've got something.
Sorry, you go.
No,
sorry,
you go. Go on.
Okay, my one is, I wish we would have worked out a little routine for dinner on that first night, because it was about halfway through and we loved our little evening routine, didn't we?
It was lovely.
And I just wish we would have we would have worked that out on the first night. But then again, if we didn't, we wouldn't have met a few people that we never would have done. So you know.
Mine is that I was very worried about sort of like travel anxiety, like forgetting this. Have we got the right amount of this? Is this going to be the right thing? Like how long is it going to take to get checked in? The check-in was the least stressful thing I've ever done in my life. I've had more stressful checking into Airbnbs than I have.
I've had more stressful booze.
I have had more stressful booze. I've had more stressful like checking into Airbnbs than I did going on a cruise for 12 nights around to a different country. Like, and you didn't need your passport like for every thing and things like that. Like, it was very, 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 everything is so run so well. There was no worries, and I think I wish I'd said to myself, not that hampered me from enjoying anything, but I was thinking, oh God, is that gonna impact on the way? Like, it didn't at all. So I think I wish I'd known before I went how well organised these things are.
It's like, this wasn't with P&O, but I organised the parking and then the transport to the ship, and I was really worried about that. Didn't be worried. That was so simple and easy.
I kept sort of thinking, oh well, I won't be able to enjoy myself until I'm on the ship. And we were literally on the ship before we knew it. It took us like 15 minutes. We had a little bit of waiting to get past thing, but it was so easy.
So smooth. So
I wish I'd known that, and going forward, like, I will know that the check-in and everything is so stress free.
Yeah, and I know, so I know, because I'm like you, and it's just one of those traits. Oh, I won't enjoy it until I'm there.
Yeah.
But now that we've done it, I can enjoy it from that from as soon as I wake up.
And we will.
And we will.
Keep seeing that advert. But yes, we very much enjoyed it. We're definitely going to go back. We are looking at Iceland next time, as I mentioned. And maybe a short break or something. More. But yeah, we fucking loved it. So
honestly.
Let us know if there's anything below that we haven't covered. If there's anything extra questions, David and I will get in the comments and answer you. But hopefully this has been helpful. Very long, I imagine, but hopefully it's been helpful. And yeah, we'll see you all again soon for another booktube video, won't we? And hi, if you just joined for the cruise vlog, for the cruise questions, nice to see you. If you like books, you should stick around. Bye.